Nobody there to hit the Buzzle at the same time.
Connect, and look at that. We said team fights are going in their favor, and there's the proof, guys. Despite how many great objective secures from Team Rocketo in the actual team fight, you cannot beat Kakuna Matata. They're so good. They just know what they're doing. I don't know if they're eating their Wheaties, if they're I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But they're drinking their milk, they're taking their vitamins, and they are just hitting as hard as possible. They're ready for this fight, and who's going to come out ahead? 5v4, 4 Super Squirtle Squad, and it looks like there's the Duraludon ult. It's not on the objective at all, and he's taking it out because the Mammoth one goes in deep, but it looks like Super Squirtle Squad coming way out ahead on this one. No surprise at all in that 4v5, and it looks like the Guardy getting 3-piece before they go ahead and start burning the Regice down.
Yeah, that was a big fight. I didn't see the very beginning of it. I couldn't tell if Mamo came in late or if the fight just. When did Unsung Heroes break top? Oh, probably when they dove that Buzzwell.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. And now we can see the Regirock at half health, but it looks like it is all going to be Super Squirtle Squad right now. It is resetting, which gives a little additional time for the Unsung Heroes, but...
And getting red and blue buff off the map ASAP, because Mons like Snorlax are going to be in there trying to take it and doing it with 3 people surrounding it.
3 around him, and Draggy goes ahead, grabs that red buff, and then gets out of dodge. Is absolutely wild this game. We talked that it may be the game of the night, and I think right now they're living up to it. This is fantastic as the ultimate. The Unite moves getting back and forth, and it's right now it looks like it's EXP Elite Four going ahead, starting to burn. Not a great situation though, because as you can see, that Dodrio comes in and just shreds, does all sorts of damage, gets a little 2-piece and says, hey, I'm just gonna go hang out in this bush while our mime scores on your home base.
Yeah, it felt like EXP Elite Four had a chance here with about a minute when it in a game that it felt like they shouldn't have had a chance to have a chance. But Dark Aura handled it well. I'm sure I said that horribly, but it was a fun one to watch for sure.
T-Tar still, but now Black Soul Gen actually doing so much recovery, and now it start the sweep by John Jai, who just comes in with a double kill. But now Palmer actually trying to survive as much as possible. Beautiful Unite move actually done by Abito. And now we are seeing Magikarp Clan trying to eat it up as much as possible as
I need it. And it looks like, there's the Dodrio getting the Delphox. That's going to be a very nice kill. And hey, what a surprise. Dodrio doing work.
Was good? Man, saved it for a second there. If they can hear us, Squirtle had a really good water gun to disrupt the Dodrio incoming drill pack.
Out of Team Drip, 28 points on the board in contrast to 207. Interestingly enough, Cloud High is not running Flame Charge, but rather Fire Spin. And as we're moving into the team fight scenarios one more time, buddy barriers galore from #Team Drip, and this is the danger of this particular composition, as the Gardevoir has already evolved, but they have no Unite move. Team Drip moving forward and getting those overdunks in for 200 or esports. 2 seconds left on the board for the 8-minute mark, which means Altaris and Swablu's are going to be contested over Cash Out Con, trying to do as much as they can. But they do get that first blood, the Wigglytuff does, versus Cash Out. As we're seeing Squirrel then actually doing some more damage. Double kill done by Raptor Arms. Drekus trying to move in and run away. Time, and now we're seeing actually Lucario fall to Dispenza. Gibbs actually taking care of the Blissey, but the Solar Beams, man, the Solar Beams is going to be so much heavy damage. Roy McGrief actually doing a really good job, and the triple kill actually coming in by Dispenza this time. Double kills done across the board. Quadra by Dispenza. Jungle Griefers are not giving an inch.
Not at all here, but all done by this man.
In the meantime, Lucario continues to stack, and they're going to force a team fight this time. Look at that 3-man surf, as we're seeing Skips actually go down by Solo. Unite move going to come out by Dispenza, and the first zone of the game is going to get secured. Beautiful snipe with a double kill by Dispenza. Right now, the Cinderace is going to go down. Unite move is going to come in by Rezia, but Rixelpig is just going to smack down the Venusaur. They should be able to take control of this zone as well.
And here's that single Urshi. Understandable.
Double
I understand why. I get it, Chopper. But I'm gonna still stick by my way of the water.
Now moving into the middle zone, Snorlax seems to be in the middle of everybody right now. And Dojo just pushes everybody on the inside. Unite move gonna come out by Blue. Palmer just taking care of everybody.
Evolve and just try to snowball here up top.
Welcome back, YouTube and Twitch. Yes, we are doing them both, and I'm very, very excited about it. Yeah, one thing to note for today, we're gonna go ahead and pause the music here. One thing to note for today is we are doing a weekly recap from last week, and we are also going to go ahead and announce the teams that are going to be doing it this week, along with the side deck plays of the week. You guys just saw the highlights of the week as well for week 4. We do this every week. Supposed to be doing it every Tuesday, but I've been having to work these past couple of weeks. Trying to get it to where we can still have it every Tuesday night, so that way we can have people filling in and getting that done. But yeah, other than that, I'm very, very excited. The highlights were great as of week 4. Always truly amazing to see each and every one of these players play each and every week. For everybody over at YouTube, if you do not know who I am Rhino Gaming. I'm also a caster and a producer of the stream and of the league. I am also the league commissioner. The other thing to note as well, this is the Pokemon Unite Coronation League. We have 12 teams that are fighting it out, duking it out, dinging it, going into the fray, going into the Unite battlefield, and making sure that they go ahead and get those W's. The winner of the league also will be getting some cash prize money. So make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned for that. We have live matches every Thursday and Friday night. So if you guys are not really familiar with it, like I said, live matches, pretty much all 12 teams are playing on Thursday, or between Thursday and Friday. All 12 teams will be playing, and we'll be going ahead and announcing what teams are playing what teams as far as Thursday, and what teams are playing as far as Friday. Now, other than that, we do have some Psyduck plays of the week. If you are not familiar what Psyduck plays is, it is players and casters doing things that you're not really supposed to be doing in Pokemon Unite, ulting in certain directions that you're not supposed to be, or just missing an ult period, misclicking. I mean, there's multiple things, and then as casters ourselves, just saying things and just doing things that we are also messing up on. So it's not just the players, it's the casters as well. So I'm making fun of both of them and both of everybody. And it's actually kind of funny. Obviously me and Chopper, I asked Chopper, I said, hey, you know, what's a good way to kind of do like a funny thing as far as what people were doing in the game of Unite? And they're like, you know what, what is a funny looking Pokemon, or what's a Pokemon that, you just kind of have funny things with? And Chopper was like, you know what, Psyduck. And I was like, yo, Psyduck plays of the week, like Psy-yi-yi, let's go. So some of these things that happened in week 4 just makes you want to hold your head and just go, what? What just happened? How did that happen? What exactly is going on? So it's actually kind of exciting to bring Psyduck plays. We kind of did it in week 1, but I didn't make a graphic for it. So we are bringing it in week 4, and we're going to be bringing it for the rest of the weeks as well. But yeah, go ahead and make sure you guys look at these Psyduck plays of the week. And the one at the end is your Psyduck person or caster or player that had the best Psyduck. Like, you had one job, bro. That's pretty much how I'm gonna put it. You had exactly one job.
Big buff like a Registeel, followed up by a nice pick on a huge one, but the Machamp ult does absolutely nothing.
I am getting red and blue buff off the map ASAP, because Mons like Snorlax are going to be in there trying to take it and doing it with 3 people surrounding it.
3 around him, and Jaggy goes ahead, grabs that red buff, and then gets out of dodge.
On to that zone.
Themselves to defend the top node.
Stream, y'all didn't hear me say Delphox invade question mark? That was his own jungle. He was being invaded.
Big buff like a Reggie Steele, followed up by a nice pick on a huge one, but the Machamp ult does absolutely nothing.
I am getting red and blue buff off the map ASAP because Mons like Snorlax are going to be in there trying to take it and doing it with 3 people surrounding it.
3 around him, and Jaggy goes ahead, grabs that red buff, and then gets out of dodge.
So the Psyduck player of the week is none other than your caster himself.
Stream, y'all didn't hear me say
right
Delphox invade question mark? That
You
was his own
said
jungle.
Snorlax invade question mark or Delphox invade question mark, and it was indeed not a Delphox that invaded. So I considered that as being the Psyduck play of the week, and that is your boy Palmer TTV. Make sure you guys go and check him out on Twitter, Twitch. I don't think he does YouTube, but I know it's Twitter and Twitch. But make sure you guys go ahead and follow him. He possibly going to be he actually does do play for Wasted Potential in the league, so make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow as well. So with that said, like I said, you guys already saw the highlights. You guys already saw who the Psyduck play of the week. The number one thing to announce for week 4 is our player of the week. I do not have a graphic made at this moment, but I will be getting one made for Thursday, as we will be having a one-on-one conversation with Aquamarine. They all voted for Aquamarine in the Discord. You can do !Discord in the chat to make sure you guys go ahead and get into the Discord. Where you can do all your votings for players of the week. I might actually do a Psyduck play of the week. Not entirely sure. I'll think about that one. But the player of the week, I went ahead and let everybody who is in the Discord and all their friends and all their families, or if they are in the Discord as well, that they can go ahead and vote for their player of the week. And we, the players and the viewers yourselves, have nominated Aquamarine, and I'll go ahead and play the player of the week video clips that I took from the games that they had these past week against Super Squirtle Squad. So check it out.
Slinging all of the little grass leaves and doing all the damage.
Yeah, and look at this as they dive onto that note. A lot of damage, but now the Mime is on Decidueye, and Mimes love to just eat Decidueye alive. Although, look at that, he did still manage to take the Snorlax out, and it's Sylvie getting that last hit. Now it's the Unsung Heroes with 4 ready and willing to go fight that Regirock. You can see Aegislash going ahead and using that. It's moving back so that he can do the jump out, and there he is. Buzzwole going for that back cap. That's exactly what they need right now with 30 seconds. However, on the flip side, they need to stop this, and that's too much for a Cinderace to do by himself.
What?
2 KO streak, 98 points go in. Runs away up to the top as they say goodbye to that outer node, and it looks like Unsung Heroes going to push tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you nobody on Super Squirtle Squad said, hey, Aleki's spawning in 2. We just got the Baji. I bet Unsung Hero sends 5 bottom.
This is true. It was a very close to a huge Mime ult there, but just still not quite enough. Mime and Snorlax by themselves not going to be enough. They are going to be doing this, it looks like, as a consistent strategy. Up in the top, though, it looks like the Unsung Heroes did manage to get that kill. They're going to get some points in. And I agree. I love seeing that. The commitment. You can tell both of these teams want this win. Again, neither team has gotten a win yet in this league, and they know they are just now under 7 minutes away from their first win, and they want it. They want to prove that, hey, I deserve a playoff spot. I'm going to get a playoff spot. And these guys, they're the ones that don't deserve it. Yeah. So this is a game that has a lot on them.
It was a zoning. Oh, look at that rip.
The rip is there, but there's and there's the ultimate as well. It's Unsung Heroes. They get it. The ultimate from the Sylvie comes in and absolutely secures the heck out of this. And that should be it. Unsung Heroes gonna start
slinging all of the little grass leaves and doing all the...
So as y'all can see, Aquamarine as the number 1 player of the week, voted by you as viewers and by the Discord as well. It was truly amazing to see that a player themselves was just so good and so good in the back, and they grouped up with their team very well. They did absolutely amazing in a lot of their positioning and stuff like that. So definitely got to give them a lot of credit, and a very good vote, a very good vote for the teams, a very good vote for the player as well. Like I said, tomorrow we will be having, if not tomorrow, it'll be Friday. Have not really talked to the player yet, but we will be doing a one-on-one with Aquamarine. I think I said Aquamarine earlier, but it is Aquamarine. And very, very strong player again. Did amazing. Like, look at the positioning that they have as the Venusaur. Stayed behind, stayed in the back, let their tanks in the front do everything possible to get that node down as well, and get it down as far as possible to do an overdunk for later on. Just did absolutely great positioning overall. Did some really good things, and then also at the end with a huge Sylveon steal from the Rayquaza, which is, you don't really see that often with the Sylveon ult, as far as it having execute, and its execute isn't that big and massive, but it definitely did take it, and as you see, the triple kill that it had during that. And like I said, great positioning, and here it is as the ult steal from Aquamarine, which is absolutely amazing. Got out of there, got out of dodge, and just said, I'm gonna go quickly score my 100. I deserve it. So it was very, very awesome. The team that they faced, which was Super Squirtle Squad, isn't a team to definitely sleep on either. They're a really good team to face up against. They definitely bring a lot of different things to the game, and they do a lot of things that obviously other teams aren't doing, but it's working for them, and it has been working for them even against the bigger teams. They just got to definitely get their middle game and their ending game straightened out. If they could do that, then they could be definitely a very, very strong team. But going into that, we're going to go ahead and go back to myself. But thank you guys, yes, again, Aquamarine as your #1 player of the week. I will be getting a graphic for them later on today as I get more info from them. But yeah, other than that, we're going to go into this week's standings as far as what we have from... Never mind, that is not an updated standing sheet. I have no idea what that is. Hold on, chat, 1 second as I get the new standing sheet and get that updated for you, because for some reason that is not the right one. Because I know I did it, and I know I did it, and I know I did it, and I know I did it. There it is. That it is. That it is. And remove that, because we don't need that. Okay. So here is your standings as of week 4. We do have each division again on the YouTube side. I know you guys don't have as far as what we've been doing from week 1, as we just started on YouTube in week 5. So from week 4 on out, we had War Legion on the side of Zapdos and Rayquaza. We have 6 teams on both sides. 1 team from both sides will not qualify for the overall tournament at the end. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have that. I'm pretty sure I thought I saved it to where Magikarp Clan was at the bottom and Super Squirtle Squad was at the bottom. I'll go in there and fix that. That is definitely my bad. But as of now, we have War Legion in the #1 spot on the Zapdos side at 3-1 with Waste Potential right behind them at 2-2. Team Aura Esports at 1-3. Unsung Heroes at 1-3. Magikarp Clan 0-4. And Elite Force, aka EXP Elite 4. They had a team name change into Elite Force due to other things. I'll let them explain that if they would like to in the Discord. But it is now Elite Force. On the Rayquaza side, we have hashtag Team Drip with a demanding 4-0 lead, with the Jungle Griefers also 4-0. And hold on 1 second. I know I have it. Let me find it, chat. I know I got this. We got it. I got this. Hold on. because they also had a team name change as well. Let me. Okay, it's Ikigai no Tsurugi. Ikigai no Tsurugi. It is this team was Kakuna Matata before, but they had a name change, also a logo change, as well as they are now called Ikigai no Tsurugi. I know I'm probably still botching that. It's still very new to me, so I will get that and make sure I get that done and to where I can say it correctly. But right behind them we have Dark Aura at 3-1, Super Squirtle Squad at 0-4, and Team Rocketo at 1-3. Rayquaza's side is looking very, very strong as far as like what the Zapdos side is, but again, each team has different matchups each week, so it all going to come down to the bitter end and see who can be the number one spot on the side of Rayquaza to the number one spot on the side of Zapdos to have that first day bye. And then the person at the bottom of each and every one of those divisions will not be making it to the playoffs, unfortunately. We just, I didn't want, this was my call. I didn't want every team to be able to make it. There has to be repercussions, obviously. So each team is still fighting for spots. There's still a huge spot on the Zapdos side to be fifth spot. There's still a side on the Rayquaza side to be in the fifth spot as well. So play your hearts out. You never know what's going to happen up to the final week. We do have 10 weeks. We are going into the halfway point of week 5. Freaking amazing. Thank you guys, everybody who has stuck around and watching this each and every week. So this is truly amazing. We do and will have a season 2 coming up, so I'm excited to announce that right now. Season 2 will be coming, and it will be coming at the end of June, or beginning of June. We'll be doing it right after pretty much all the top teams have entered into their for the UCS. So congrats to whoever teams that make it to that. All the teams that are in here will also be trying to play in the UCS as well, so I'll be rooting for each and every one of these teams as well. And yeah, I'm excited to announce that we will be having season 2. Signups for season 2 will not happen until maybe like a couple weeks beforehand, just so that we can get graphics and stuff like that done. But I will, again, have a big, huge announcements on Twitter. The stream will also still be live. We'll be doing little weekly things as well. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely follow if you guys can. And on YouTube, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Now, with that said, with this week's matchups, we have some big things that are going to be changing. Obviously, we have the patch notes that are coming out. Shout out to Splash. Make sure you go ahead and give them a follow on Twitter. Their Twitter page is right there at the top right corner. I did copy this without their their permission, but it is up there. You go ahead and follow them. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow them. They did an amazing job on this as well. But Urshifu Single Strike is getting some couple nerfs. Rapid Strike Urshifu got some huge buffs. I'm a big fan of the Rapid Strike Urshifu, so I'm very excited to test that out and play it. Very, very great. Sableye getting not so big of a nerf. I wish I would have saw more. Probably more of a more cooldown on the way that they go invisible. So I'm hoping that maybe they look more into this Pokemon, as it still is a menace. Mr. Mime, yes, it got some huge, massive nerfs into each and every one of Confusion. The Power Swap or Guard Swap, I think is what it's called, Guard Swap, along with this Unite. Yeah, I got some damage changes from it, but it hasn't been as impactful as what I have seen. So it still seems like Power Swap. Thank you very much, Chopper. I really do greatly appreciate that. It doesn't seem like it has had a major change in the whole of it. So it is, I still think it's going to be very viable still, again, to be picked up and And again, for everybody who doesn't know, we do 6 total bans, 3 from each team. So it's, you know, it's up to them of what they're gonna choose to ban. They could see the Sableye being a little bit. I'm still banning Scyther and Cram at the moment. I don't know if there's any bugs as of yet. I haven't gotten any confirmation from that, but I know Unite DB definitely said to still, or not Unite DB, but Mathcord still definitely said to ban Scyther and Cram from tournaments this weekend. So we need, unfortunately, we're still going to do that until possibly next week. If, you know, I don't see any type of bugs and it's just a damage bug, or not damage bug, but it's just damage output that it's doing, and that's just the correct output that it's doing, then we're probably going to end up putting it back in, or putting it in. But right now, Scyther is still banned. It got some nerfs, but apparently it's still really, really good. And that's kind of the crazy part. So Scyther and Scizor is banned. You cannot choose either or for bans, and you cannot choose either or for picks. So if you do choose Scyther or Scizor as a ban, then you just basically use the band as, you know, your own. It's just, you know, it's already banned. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to just choose it, then you can. Just so that it could save yourself any picks and bans and stuff like that. That's perfectly okay. But Scyther and Scizor is both banned. Hoopa getting some massive buffs. I'm very, very happy of this Pokemon. I think bringing it back is amazing. The Phantom Force that it has on it is awesome. I think Trick Phantom Force is the way to go rather than Hyperspace Hole Phantom Force. Yes, Hyperspace Hole did get a cooldown buff, but I don't think it was enough to do a great amount to make it viable. Still, because like you still get the reduced base healing at the base. So yeah, you can get them out for a second and then bring it back in, but I really feel like Trick is going to be able to move players, and you still get the healing off of the Phantom Force. And not only that, it's basically a free blink for your player that you just tricked. So I don't know if people really understand as far as what Phantom Force does for Hoopa, but a big Hoopa fan as myself, I'm very, very excited, and hopefully we can see this into the fray coming up this week, as we did see it last week. That Super Squad actually played. Dragapult coming out with a massive buff as well to its Shadow Ball, I believe, or Shadow... I want to say it's Shadow Ball. I did not look into the move, but Dragapult getting a buff as well, and that's amazing for Dragapult. I think it needed it. I still think it needs a little bit more, and a little bit more to itself as a Pokemon as a whole. I wish it had a different, not a different kit, but a little bit more. Using the Dreepies as its, you know, torpedoes and stuff like that, but. Nonetheless, this is your patches of the week. Again, all Pokemon are... Oh, I totally forgot Clefable, because I don't like Clefable. It got a massive healing buff. I think it's a little too much for that Pokemon. You may end up seeing a Clefable and Blissey Beam nerfed, but that only leaves Dodrio and Sableye out there, Urshifu being still out there, Mr. Mime, Hoopa. You know, there's gonna be so many now new Pokemon are gonna come in due to the buff that Clefable got. I'm hoping to see a lot of Clefable bans more than anything, but Clefable is not banned. The only Pokemons that are banned for this week is Scyther, Scizor, oh, and Comfey that comes out tomorrow, I believe, or the 3rd. I think it's Friday. That it comes out. So Comfey will still be banned until the following, not the following week, but the following after that. Basically after it becomes free during that week. So, because normally Pokemon come out, you know, you have to pay for them right away. So hopefully they do change that kind of aspect, but we'll see. But with that being said, the only Pokemon that are banned is Scizor, Scyther, and Cram for this week at the moment, and Comfey when it comes out. So, and next week, if I see no bugs for Scyther and see no bugs for Cram and Scyther and Scizor both all three will be available next week, which will make exciting things for bands and picks and phases. If you guys do not know how our picks and bands work, well, let me get. Well, I wish I didn't move over to that. Picks and bands, we do have obviously 3 bands for both sides, 2 bands for both sides before the picks start. After 3 picks, then it's a ban on the right side and a ban on the left side. So make sure you guys check that out. Going into tomorrow, we do have a lot of gameplay, and I'm very, very excited. And we are going to go ahead and go with the versus screens. Let me see. Do I not have? Oh yeah, there it is. Haha. So game one will be Unsung Heroes versus Aura Esports. Again, both teams playing for spots to not be in that bottom 5 or the bottom 6 team for both sides. Unsung Heroes at a demanding 1 and 3. Also Aurora Esports at 1 and 3. So this is going to be a very evenly match. I see this going into a game 3. Unsung Heroes coming out with a game 3 against Super Squirtle Squad last week. Super Squirtle Squad has been in pretty much like I think every week they've been in a game 3. So you know they still got it. They have it. They have to find it. That's all it is. But with this match, Unsung Heroes versus Aura Esports. Unsung Heroes is a brand new team who just came into week 3. So they are still learning a bit about the band system and how the picks go. But Aura Esports, they've been here since the beginning. They're a sleeper pick on my end. I still feel like they definitely could be strong. One of their players was the player of the week, Cash Out Condit. So from both of these sides, I feel like I can't really choose due to both teams are still trying to find themselves out and figure themselves out as far as in the league. And it's exciting to see both of these teams face it out in week 5 as they both have the same record. So it's kind of, and this is a great start for the Thursday night match as well. Unsung Heroes versus Aura Esports. Again, this is, I can't stress it enough that this is a really, really great series as far as these two, because they're playing for things. They're definitely playing for spots on the Zapdos side for Unsung Heroes and Team Aura Esports. So they're playing for a division game right here. So it's kind of exciting to see who's going to be matched up with Waste Potential. You know, it's going to make that step for both of them very, very well. So I'm excited to see this match tomorrow night. As we go into game number 2, we have Elite Force, EXP Elite Force versus Team Rocketo. I believe I actually have the standings wrong for Elite Force. I do. Do I? Hold on, chat. Let me double check the standings real quick, because that doesn't seem right to me. Double check. Just double checking here. No, Elite Force is 0-4, so I have it wrong on the standing sheet. But Team Rocketo is 1-3, so you know, EXP Elite Force looking for their first win for the week. Exciting to see that. The only thing I could say is it's going to be interesting to see how Elite Force can come back. Team Rocketo last week went an 0-2 against Jungle Griefers. You know, they're looking to bounce back as well. But Elite Force, they've been there. They got some things to work on. It's coming from an analyst side as well, so don't take anything that I'm saying granted from heart. The only thing I could say is, you know, both teams have potential to really win this game and win this game outright. It just depends on how well each team can um, adapt to the picks and bans phase and prioritize picks where they should is I guess like the biggest thing. Going into this week's buffs and nerfs, I really don't think we really need to see Eldegoss at all. I'm hoping we don't. I don't think Eldegoss is a good take when there's other Pokemon that are going to be coming in that are better, obviously. So hopefully we kind of, you know, overlook this Eldegoss pick and start picking up other Pokemon that are really good. And go from there, as both teams do really like Eldegoss and I just do not. So I think that's a little personal thing for me, but other than that, let's go ahead and go into game number 3, and that is Wasted Potential versus Dark Aura. This is gonna be a really good match. This isn't a division match, but it is a good Thursday night match where Waste Potential is 2-2, Dark Aura is 3-1. This matchup I can see possibly going to a best of 3 as well as the other two. Dark Aura has they lost against what was it, Jungle Griefers, I think the week beforehand, 0-2. But Waste Potential been kind of going to game 3s a lot lately. And they've been giving a lot of the top teams the run for their money, which I expect them to do for Dark Aura as well. Them having a big pool of Pokemon that they can pick from both sides, and hopefully they looked at these nerfs and these buffs and started figuring out what Pokemons they're actually going to start playing. I would not technically want to see Dodrio being played on the side of Dark Aura, so hopefully the homework that Wasted Potential could do is very massive. Now on the side of Dark Aura, I don't see them really picking I would see a more of a Gardevoir ban on the side of Wasted Potential, as Wasted Potential has been picking Gardevoir pretty much almost every game. But again, with these buffs and nerfs from other Pokemon that have come up, I'm probably going to see Dragapult be alive with the Shadow Ball. So there's some picks and bans that are be coming out that are going to be very questionable coming into this week. I wouldn't say questionable as far as it being a bad thing. It's going to be questionable as far as it being a thing of like, how can we provide the other team without a whole lot of sources of what they've been strong with the past weeks, if that makes any sense at all. It made sense when I said it, but hopefully it makes sense to what you guys have heard. Now the picks and bans from both sides, I expect it to be good. I really do. They're both strong, very strong teams in the league. This is going to be a good match. It's going to be a good match. Thursday matches are looking phenomenal, as we are going to go ahead and go into game number 1 on Friday, and that is Magikarp Clan versus Jungle Griefers. Jungle Griefers being a dominant 4-0, Magikarp Clan being a 1-3. I believe both of these teams played in week 1, if I'm not mistaken. So they're playing again in week 5, but they won't play again against each other again after this. So some teams did have to play against other teams twice. Some teams didn't. But this being a rematchup, Magikarp Clan could come in and win. And could come in and win very, 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 very heavily. As Jungle Griefers have been dominant since pretty much week 1. Very, very strong since week 1. Magikarp Clan going into this week is going off of a win, I believe, as well. So it's going to be interesting for both of these teams on how Magikarp Clan adapts to Jungle Griefers and how Jungle Griefers has been watching Magikarp Clan adapt. So yes, you could be 4-0, but it's how you are seeing the enemy team adapt since the time that you played it first. The first time. So like each team can basically level up, evolve into a different team and evolve into ways that they can pretty much get some wins and start looking at different ways on how they can rotate around this map. I think that's the biggest question for a lot of these teams is rotating correctly, and when to rotate, and where your priorities lies on both sides of the map as well. So to check that out, this is Friday week 5 Friday night's game starting at 6 p.m. Central. We are starting earlier this time on Friday instead of later, due to UCS being on Saturdays. So I'm adapting to the teams and letting them know, like, hey, I don't want them to stay up too late on Friday night to where they can technically go and watch. So I'm kind of excited about that. Now, with that, let's go ahead and go into game number 2 on Friday, and that is Ikige no Tsurugi. I am going to keep botching that. I know it, but I hopefully said it right that time without actually reading it. They are playing against Super Squirtle Squad. Ikige used to be Kakuna Matata. They did a huge, massive name change, and the logo has changed as well. The logo will change again as they are getting a new artist to remake that as well. So I'm excited to announce that will be changed, and actually will be changed by the time on Friday. So very excited about that. But with a demanding 4-0 lead versus Super Squirtle Squad, which is 0-4, but they've been bringing a lot of their teams who have been at the top to game 3s. So this is going to be interesting to watch from both sides. As again, Super Squirtle Squad's been literally upping their game each and every week, doing different things, rotating different ways, and I really, really, really like that. It's just their mid game that they have to start working on. Yes, you can get behind on a different lane, but that's when you push on the lane that you've been pushing since the entire game. So hopefully there's different ways from the team of Super Squirtle Squad to bounce back after they've been doing demanding leads at the beginning. It just seems like they fall off in that middle, and then they kind of find that niche at the end. But then by that time it's a little too late because you're allowing your enemy team to start gaining that experience. If you're going to be that aggressive, you have to stay aggressive. So if you're gonna be aggressive, you gotta stay aggressive. You know what I mean? So on the Ikige side, they've been dominant since the beginning. Very, very strong picks. Mr. Mime has been a big pick for them as well. I will start having stats after this week, and stats that I can show but be able to read off of and be a little bit more on this. So I do miss the old logo as well as Kakuna Matata, but hey, like I said, each team is evolving, and this team has evolved into a brand new team, and they're going to show out. They're still going to show out as they did last week, and they're going to show out again this week. So I'm very excited to hopefully see both of these teams duke it out and go into a game 5. So it's going to be interesting to see, as we're going to go ahead and go into the final game of the week. And this is #Team Drip versus War Legion Esports. War Legion Esports played against the Jungle Griefers last week. Got 0-2'd. Don't know. I didn't really get the chance to watch this game fully. Watch that match fully as I was working. But #Team Drip, being a demanding 4-0, they have to win this game to be at that halfway point of the league and possibly guarantee themselves into the tournament, depending on how other things go. So this week for #Team Drip is going to be massive. They better bring their A game. There's definitely things that Team Drip has been doing since week 1, and a lot of them has been rip and grip, pretty much rip and grip them. So hopefully War Legion starts seeing that, and when they're picking these squishier mons, they start picking these bulkier mons to go up against them, and try to piggyback off of that. But on the side of War Legion for hashtag Team Drip, War Legion's been picking some really weird Pokemon on their side, and the way the hashtag Team Drip been doing their picks and bans have been doing it very smartly. By the way, they can prioritize those picks for themselves because I've seen them play those to get the upper hand against this War Legion esports team as well. So it's going to be exciting to see both of these teams play. But again, for hashtag Team Drip to basically secure themselves into the tournament, they must possibly win this week. Depending on how other games go before them, this could be a week where they are guaranteed into the final tournament. After that, they're just playing for seeding to see if they want to, if they're going to stay seeding 1 on the side of Rayquaza. So this is going to be exciting to see, and exciting to see it will. Again, both sides have different things that they need to work on, different things that they should work on in the later run. But again, this is just me analyzing the games that I've seen, and I've watched these games multiple times. I just didn't re-see the game of War Legion Esports versus Jungle Griefers this past weekend. I was kind of just going through it, just picking out some clips. I really didn't get to analyze the game, but all the other games I kind of did get to analyze as I was watching those fully. I probably was distracted during those, but I sit here and I analyze. I'm big into coaching. I love to coach teams as well. So like this is my my way of being able to kind of show each and every team and kind of say little things that both teams can work on and hopefully help them in the long run. And just for them to adapt. Like I really want all these teams to adapt, make sure that they all are pretty much together to where in season 2, if all these teams want to come back, they're very, very much welcome to, and they already know what exactly they're getting themselves into with each and every team. So it's going to be exciting to see possibly going into week 2, or not week 2, but season 2. So I'm kind of excited, to be honest. Now with that said, your Unite World Coronation League, Zapdos side and Rayquaza, like I said, both sides have already kind of made their way in. But again, hashtag Team Drip and Jungle Griefers. Oh, I forgot all 3 of them. Honestly, all 3 of them could actually just pin themselves into being into the tournament if they all go 5-0, which they have they have the opportunity to. It's just all depending on how they play against their opponents. With that said, Super Squirtle Squad and Magikarp Clan being 0-4, so is Elite Force being 0-4 as well. With those 3 teams still being 0-4, there's still a lot of room to be in that spot to where you can still consider yourself going into the tournament, even if you do lose this week. So we still have 5 more weeks after that. So make sure, you're not out of the loop. Trust me, every week counts. Make this week your week, right? Make these other top teams start losing. Show them what you got. If there's any time to do it, and it's literally the second half of the league, and this is the time to start doing it. Start putting out those picks that you are just dominant on and so good on, and to help your team make that win. That is probably the perfect time to practice for this week. With this, I don't think I have anything else, as I am Rhino Gaming. I am the league commissioner for the League of the Pokemon Unite Coronation League. Again, I am very, very happy to announce that we will be doing Season 2. I will get exact dates of Season 2. And I'm hoping to get a lot of the casters back for Season 2. I'm hoping to get a lot of the teams back also for Season 2. There's a lot of other things that I am also working on, as far as sponsorships as well. If you are interested in sponsoring the league, please let me know. And message me directly, either Rhino Gaming in Discord, or you can also go into the Discord and do UWC League, and you can also do it here on YouTube and or Twitch. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. as I am looking to go into season 2. But season 2 is going to be a lot of things that are going to be different, and a lot of things that are going to be awesome for the casters and for the people who are working in the background, as well as I am working on things for that. So, other than that, my name is Rhino Gaming. This was your weekly recap. Yeah, it was very short, but it was just me. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through with the Psyduck plays of